Hey, it's Mike Shunke with Berkshire Hathaway Homes and Shifton Properties in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're on our way to Paradise Valley meeting. We're going to talk about residential, we're going to talk about commercial, we're going to talk about the economy, and we're going to talk about business a little bit. So first of all, inventory in the multiple listing service. We're up 200 homes. Maricopa County, we're up 150. In Scottsdale, we're up 32 single-family detached homes for sale. It's been an interesting week. A lot of weird things, a lot of fun going on. I always like when things are unusual. Let's see. So inventory, we still need a boost there, but there's plenty of buyers out here. Chandler, still #1 hottest market because there's a lot of companies moving to that area. Population flows. Remember, we talked about watching that. Prices year over year up about 8%. So if you're sitting on the sideline waiting for this crash, it's not going to happen. You're just missing out. Your buying power is now 8% less, and that's not including interest rates being higher. February, 15% of sales were over asking price. That's 2% higher than last year. Average sales to list price is about 98%. So when you're listing a home, a property, you've got about a 2% margin. You've really got to hit that number. If you miss it by over 2%, 3, 4, 5%, it's going to be quiet. And it's interesting. We're seeing homes come on the market sold. They're priced right. And we're also seeing there's a big discrepancy. We're seeing prices that are coming on overpriced. And one right near us, they started at 7, they dropped to $5.5 million, and now they canceled. They were just testing the market, but they had zero. I talked to them. They had zero activity at $5.5 million. Over in the 85259 zip code. If he priced it about 4.5, it's a beautiful place. He probably would have had some activity and gotten it sold. A friend of ours is listing one in Ancala Country Club coming up. It's a good deal. 1.7 million for 4-bedroom, 4,000 square feet. It's $446 a square foot. Anything under 500 a square foot in 85259 zip code's a good deal. There's another one in there. I think there's $650 a square foot. Zero activity. So you really got to hit that number. You're better off getting the offers. Left here. Yes. Getting the offers, competing. You want to stay in control of the deal. We're hustling along. We're a little bit late here this morning. So you want to stay in control of the deal. You want to bring the offers. It's like fishing with a big net, fishing with a small net. You want to get your listing out there, get as many eyes on it as possible. That's why we stick with Berkshire. It's a big network, and we have the tools to get your listing out there. But yeah, also, pay attention to a lot. There's another one in Ancala. It's a beautiful lot. It's a piece of property we've been keeping our eye on. I think it's one of the best ones over there. It popped up on the Zillows and the Redfins and all those places this week as for sale. A friend of ours called. It's not for sale. They called the owner directly. It's not for sale. Somebody hijacked the property. Pay attention. It's popular with vacant land, vacant houses. We're seeing a lot of fraud now. The hackers are listing properties that they don't have the right to sell. They have no business selling, and you send money in a wire, it's gone. So we could tell you some stories about that we've heard, but we haven't been subject to that, but we hear the stories. Commercial, interesting. I had a real fun week. We went down to the courthouse. We're working on a deal. We've been getting a lot of calls lately. Last 2 years, there was a lot of money out there. Everybody wanted to be a real estate investor. Whenever you get that environment, you get a lot of fraud, a lot of scammers jump in. So we've been getting calls lately to fix situations that people have gotten into. There's this building, it's worth about $1 million. Our client didn't know. He loaned the guy $400,000, and the guy defaulted on the note. The property is in my new client's name. So we had to go down, it came up on the courthouse as going to auction. We went down there to make sure. We had talked to the scammer. Probably not a bad guy. He got upside down. He got himself in trouble over leveraging a bunch of properties. So we went down, we made sure, he promised he would pay off that note. And we made sure that he promised that he paid it off. He showed up with the check, and he paid off the note on my client's property. It's complicated. But so now we can list the property for sale. It's 2,500 square foot building. It's a small office building, but yeah, we're gonna save him a lot of money, $400,000 plus. We're gonna put a couple more $100,000 in his pocket by selling it. So that's what we do. We fix problems. So lately, which is fun, super fun. I enjoy it. It's real satisfying. You get somebody call. It's pretty desperate, and you've got to build that trust. It's any industry where there's a lot of money to be made, you get the scammers and the fraud show up. Real estate just happens to be one of those industries. There's a lot of possibilities, so you really have to pay attention and trust who you're working with. That's why we do live. Hopefully we're earning your trust. Right. You get to know us a little bit. We get to know you a little bit. If you have any questions, give us a call. So commercial, we're watching, I've said before, commercial is financed with short-term loans. A lot of those loans, since rates have come up, are coming due in the next 2-3 years. Now, I will say the banks and the finance companies, they don't want the property. They have no interest in having the property. So they're renegotiating a lot of loans. But if they decide to foreclose on those commercial loans, then there's going to be some issue there. And actually, Chairman Powell, he said quite a bit. He said they're keeping an eye on that too. But a lot of the banks they're working with clients. They don't, like I said, they don't want the property. Interesting, our 1-year anniversary came up of a building that we sold, a super cool product. Takes 911s and makes them into off-road vehicles. Super high-end. He actually won the SEMA show a couple years ago, Best of Show, with one of his builds. But we got him in a seller-financed building, 4%. The seller, we did a lot of homework. Seller just wanted to retire and spend time on his boat out in California. He wanted $6,500 a month. Didn't care about anything else. He just wanted to retire. We backed into the numbers. We got that client 4% seller finance deal for 10 years. So I spoke to him the other day. He's pretty excited. I was like, dude, you got the last 4% loan in the world. And so he's pretty thankful, pretty excited. So that's fun. That's what we do. We think out of the box. Let's see. Land, super hot. Developers want to put some land in their inventory. Building's expensive still, so they're not really building till they sell the home. But land, and I think retail is undervalued. People are, want to shop local. People are shopping local. Small retail businesses are opening. I think strip malls, like we just got for Murphy over at AMOAZ. I know that was tough. That was a stretch for him to get in, but he's set. His kids are set. His grandkids are set. It takes some effort to get into. You have to be disciplined, and you have to take some risk if you're gonna, get a terrific return. Brings us to cap rates. Cap rates, we're seeing about 6-7%. Cap rate is basically, it's your return on your cash. Is that kind of, Chairman Powell mentioned yesterday, are cap rates starting to peak 6-7%? If you can get 6 or 7% on your money, that's a home run all day long. CD, Wells Fargo, I think, is paying 5% on a 6-month CD. That's pretty much a no-brainer. So if you're going to take the risk and invest in a commercial property, you got to be rewarded a little bit higher than that. It's all risk versus reward. Let's see. We really need some land in Cave Creek and North Scottsdale. So if you know anybody who has land up there they want to sell, give us a call. Our clients have money, so not going to give it away, but we need land. We've got a few clients looking for commercial and residential in Cave Creek and North Scottsdale. So if you know of any coming up, or if you know anybody that has any, we want it. So give us a shout. Let's see. The economy. We had a jobs number this morning back on the Board of Trade days. I say the best job in the world for anybody coming out of college. That I was the guy who stood there in the yellow coat and did this, bought and sold. Well, that's actually backwards. It's been a while. Bought and sold. It was my job. Best way to harden any kid into the business world. But yeah, jobs report came out this morning. It was kind of ho-hum, but what was interesting, unemployment 3.9%, shows that we're getting a little control on inflation. Interesting, the January number was revised way down. You'll notice the end of January, early February, rates shot up because everybody thought the employment numbers were really good. Well, they came out and revised the number way down, so that January number wasn't as good. And that's kind of what the bond market's focusing on today. Upon the job numbers announcement this morning, 10-year yield shot up. But now, as soon as they came out with that revision, it shot down because now it looks like, do we have inflation under control? Everybody heard Chairman Powell speak on Wednesday. Nobody heard Chairman Powell speak on Thursday when he was talking to the Senate Finance Committee. And, he again said he's not taking his foot off. He does not want to be too aggressive in lowering rates. And I agree. We need rates to be stable. Investors want a stable economy. They don't like volatility. Volatility scares investors away from money, and it kind of tightens up the money supply. Banks are being careful. He's keeping an eye on some of the regional banks. Did they overextend themselves? And now with these higher rates, are their balance sheets out of balance? We're just kind of touching along the top of these economic things here. But if you have questions, give us a call. We can dig in deeper. We're going to start doing some videos on our YouTube channel. I only have a few minutes here on these Friday mornings. I try to keep it around 10 minutes. But we're going to start doing videos more in depth on our YouTube channel, Shift One Properties, Mike Shunke, I think it's at Scottsdale RE Broker. But 10 years hanging out around 4.07. Finally got the 30-year fixed mortgage rate under 7%. We're not going to drop much. Don't expect 6% again. I don't think. Pay attention. What did I say last week? The content is in the context? Yeah, the content is in the context. Read beyond the headlines. Chairman Powell even said he's getting pressured to lower these rates. There's really no reason for the Fed to lower rates right now. The economy's kind of humming along. The government wants to intervene. They want to offer 5%. We don't want to get too political here, but I do, because it's important. He wants to offer $5,000 tax credit to anybody who purchases a first-time home. Well, our problem in the real estate economy right now, the economics of real estate, is supply. So if you're just increasing demand, that doesn't help us get anywhere. That just dwindles supply. So you've really got to pay attention to the headlines. I believe in free markets. There's a buyer and a seller for every asset. What's the price? Let it run. Don't interfere. Let the economy run. Stop spending, please. It's unhealthy for the economy. So anyway, we could go on all day about that, but we're just pulling up here to our meeting here in Paradise Valley. We've got this. We're going to get in some fancy houses in a little bit. We've got to run up to Cave Creek and look at some property. We're here. If you're looking to buy or sell, if you have a question, if you got stuck by a scammer and you need to know how to get out of your deal, give us a shout. We'll try and help. We love that kind of work, trying to think out of the box and see what we can do for you. So give us a shout. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Have a great day. Be smart, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.